Well, you all seem to enjoy it when I did the Courage Armor Digivolution evolution lines. So on today's video, let's get back to it with the Friendship Armor Digimon, exploring all their evolution lines. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video. And yes, we are going to be doing the Friendship Armor evolution lines today. Like how a while back I gave evolution lines to the Armor Digimon in Digimon Adventure 02 as if they digivolve further rather than just kind of being equivalent to champion level. What would their ultimate and mega levels look like? And when I talk about evolution lines, I'm talking about anime style. You know, Agumon to Greymon to Metal Greymon to War Greymon. I do want to just take this opportunity to say that evolution lines aren't the only thing in Digimon. Digimon branch. Digimon have the ability to kind of digivolve into anything. That's one of the beauties of it. We just on this channel like exploring lines in an anime style. So a lot of people being like, wait, what happened to Beelzemon when they unveiled the new Impmon evolutions for Liberator? Nothing happened to Beelzemon. That evolution exists, and so does the new one. So we're looking for thematic evolutions that fit the Armor Digimon, and where possible, we'll try and marry the rookie, because sometimes the rookies of non-02 Armor Digivolutions can be a little bit random. Usually there's just one rookie for an Armor Digimon, but where there are multiple, I'm going to pick the one that I think works best. Like in my Courage video where I use Patron becoming Barramon that I don't love to create a line that I actually did. And as such, all these armors will be acting as champions. Where possible, I'm also going to keep the Spike, Electric, and Ice theme of the Friendship armors going. However, if I think the elements of the Digimon themselves work better elsewhere, I will use them. The Friendship armors are a lot more out there, I think, in comparison to Courage, which tended to stay a little bit on theme, if not wholly on theme. Whereas Friendship has some really odd choices like Sepikmon or even Rabbitmon, which is a bomb design, but is a little bit odd as a Gatomon friendship armor. Bomb design, cats. Oh hey, that reminds me. This video is sponsored by an amazing new game, Bombcat. Developed and published by Red Deer Games, Bombcat takes inspiration from classic matching games but elevates the challenge with an insane bomb mechanic. In other words, it's pretty simple. Match the fluffy cats carefully, but watch out. The bombastic Bombcat can either assist you or completely disrupt your game. There are 11 fluffy cats, starting with the sweet tiny blue kitten babies to match together. Each cat has a different weight depending on its size, and your goal is to achieve the highest score without running out of space. To increase the challenge, a bomb cat will occasionally appear. To activate this kitty's ability, it needs to touch the flamey cat. That's when the explosions countdown starts. Depending on the circumstances, the blast can help you match smaller cats as they will jump around the box, or end your game as the cats can pop out of the open parcel and fly to the moon. You know, just like typical cats. I adore games like Bombcats. It taking a familiar format and switching things up just absolutely resonated with me. So I was over the moon, get it, when Red Deer Games wanted to sponsor this video. Bombcat is endlessly and addictively fun with enjoyable music, which you can always turn off. And once again, I remind you, cats. You're watching this channel, so I know you love cute creatures. So make sure you check out Bombcat today on Steam and Nintendo Switch. And thank you to Bombcat and Red Deer Games for sponsoring this video. Okay, so in the old video, I did already cover Raidramon. It's of course the Friendship Armor Digivolution of Vmon from Digimon Adventure 02 and acts as a kind of quadruped vehicle in that show, which is why I struggled with its ultimate level. There isn't really currently an existing Digimon that fully fits that vibe, even given the new Digimon we've got, like Fenrilugamon Takumi Kazuchi, which is a mega. Shut up. So I ended up settling on Raidramon and Azulongmon, who has a wonderful visual connection to Raidramon. Thunderbirdmon to me has to be the equivalent of a champion level, but I do like a line that goes Vmon, Raidramon, Thunderbirdmon, Azulongmon. But as I say, given Thunderbirdmon is more like a champion, I think Raidramon, the Thunder Ludamon, is technically an Armor Digimon, is our best fit there. I am a bit partial to Zanmetsumon as a Raidramon evolution now too, but it doesn't really have the dragon or electric theme, unfortunately. Moving over to Kenkimon, its common pre-evolutions are Armadillomon, Gardramon, and Solarmon. Honestly, all of these work. Apart from maybe Gardramon, but then Gatomon is a champion that Armor Digivolves to Nefertimon, and we've Digivolved Nefertimon further, treating it as a champion, so a depowered Gardramon is fine here too. Ultimately, I don't think it really matters, because whether it's Armadillomon, Gardramon, or Solarmon into Kenkimon, as well as a couple of other choices, I think a general kind of like tough guy, armored construction theme, I think is what they're going for, which is why an evolution line of Bulbmon, which just, yeah, that's a Kenkimon evolution in my mind, also known as Valvemon, just works so great. It's been a Kenkimon evolution in the old card game and in Digimon Soul Chaser, and I'm all here for it, and that's why, to keep a construction-ish theme going, the mega is going to be Breakdramon. I also think this is fun because Breakdramon has drills, and if we're using Armadillomon as the rookie of Kenkimon, that kind of connects more to the Digmon element, Kenkimon being a construction-based friendship friendship armor for Armadillomon, and Digimon kind of being a construction of excavation-themed armor, Digivolution of Knowledge for Armadillomon, capping off with Breakdramon, like this ultimate construction dragon, I think is pretty good. But it also works if you use Gardramon and Solarmon too. Kenkimon is also Digivolved from all the Gabumon variants, basically, with the Digi-Egg of Friendship, but, well, Gabumon Horn, I don't know. But a designated Armadillomon Friendship Armor Digivolution, just Armadillomon, is Sepikmon, and this baffles me. I've never understood in what world. First is a friendship armor, second a friendship armor of Armadillomon. Like, these head feathers look just like Hawkmon feathers. Like, I could see this as a Hawkmon Courage armor, maybe, or a Sincerity armor if it didn't have Shirimon. But a friendship armor for Armadillomon? I don't get it, but okay, we're gonna work with it. I think we just kind of have to a little bit ignore the armadillo and quadruped elements here to make something that's salvageable, which is why I'm gonna have Sepikmon become Makuramon, a Deva. There is actually a connection between the Devas and the Armor Digimon, as well as the Sovereigns, obviously, in outside of 02 and Tamer's media, like in the Eirias setup and sometimes the card game. Although technically Makuramon has never Digivolved from Sepikmon, it theoretically could in the card game, I guess, at some point. But obviously they're both monkeys. It then, I would Digivolve, keeping the line going, into King Etamon. This works for me in a couple of ways. First of all, monkey, great. Second of all, its coloration is much closer to that of Armadillomon and Ankylomon, and even Digimon, I guess, to an extent. And it technically being a puppet, not a full-on monkey, could indicate that it's kind of a costume, that perhaps there is somewhat of an Armadillomon body under there, maybe. And Sepikmon being so ridiculous, I think is fun because it connects to King Etamon being a bit more of a comedy-type Digimon. It's far from a perfect line, but it at least salvages the very random Armadillomon to Sepikmon, in my opinion. Alright, Hawkmon. Hawkmon becomes Rinkmon, and I quite like this. I think the headpiece lends itself to being a Hawkmon armor, and its blue coloration, while it doesn't match the Digi-Egg, it does match the themes of the color of the crest, Garuramon, etc. And I like the spikes being both electric spikes coming off the arm, but also being ice skates. Definitely a little different. It's also apparently related to Cyborg 009. There's a character called Jet Rink, and that cyborg definitely kind of looks a little bit more bird-like, I guess, so that could be the connection. Anyway, I've said before that I do like Armormon as a mega for Rinkmon, but I wanted to go a little bit different with this, keeping it more of an icy friendship line. And that's when I turned to the Blizzard Fang Dim and thought about Rinkmon becoming Cressamon, which is on that Dim card. Now, it's a little bit weird, but it does have these kind of like metal moon-shaped things which could be similar to the ice skates of Rinkmon. If you don't like that, another option would be Chris Paledramon, which I think works great from Rinkmon, or even Pangiamon, I guess. But ending on Frostvelgamon, I think, is a slam dunk. We start with a bird in Hawkmon, and we end in a bird on Frostvelgamon, but it has assimilated the data of the Digi-Egg of Friendship to become an ice bird, a Frostvelgamon. Really very little to explain there. The line's a little bit weird. I think at Ultimate we could do with another bird here. We need like an ice bird Ultimate perhaps, but otherwise, let's say we use Chris Paledramon, Hawkmon to Rinkmon to Chris Paledramon to Frostvelgamon. Really fond of that. And I touched on it in the intro, but Gatomon and Salamon become Rabbitmon with the Digi-Egg of Friendship. This is one of those ones that we fixed up in our armor fixings video, and I really like the way we did it, but going strictly off the design of Rabbitmon or Bitmon as it actually is, well, it's a Gatomon armor. It does have a blue scarf, so you could say that is the blue element of friendship, I guess, and maybe the pinkness of Gatomon. That, though, to me, naturally lends itself to one very specific evolution, though, and that is Kenkimon. The blue scarf of Rabbitmon becoming the blue hair and the star on Kenkimon's forehead, and of course the pink body and those big blades, similar to the ice skates of Rinkmon perhaps, tie in the design quite well. But where do we go from there? Well, consider, and I don't know whether I want to use this, because it is in Gatomon's conventional evolution line, however, I think Magnadramon, Holydramon works really well here. And you could even then make it that the reason that Bitmon is so pink is because it is connecting to Gatomon eventually becoming Magnadramon, adding cohesion to the line and ultimately ending up as a kind of beast of some variety, maybe not fully a cat Magnadramon, but it's kind of cat-like or lion-like. But if you don't like the idea of it turning into Magnadramon because that's a conventional Gatomon evolution, Rabbitmon via Kenkimon could become Cherubimon Virtue, a big pink rabbit. And you know, it's pretty friendly until it isn't. Wormmon normally becomes Togemogumon. Thought about this before, I think they should switch this around and give Togemogumon to Armadillomon, but keeping it as Wormmon, well, it's not easy. I think a pretty easy evolution for Togemogumon could be Frozomon or Korikakumon. There isn't another hedgehog Digimon that really fits here. You could perhaps use the Harrismon evolutions, and in fact, I don't hate Staphylmon here. However, I want to keep the evolution line kind of grounded, on all fours or on all its legs where possible. That's the cohesion I'm going to have. Wormmon kind of not being a biped, going into a more or quadrupedal, or I don't know how to describe this. It's not always quadrupedal, but when a creature is like this or when it's like this. I want this whole line to be like this, not like this. Biologists sound off in the comments. I think Frozomon works. Korikakumon's okay, but I'm sliding with Frozomon here to tee up another Blizzard Fang Deer Mega, Ancient Mega Theriamon. And when you put that line together, it's a little bit weird, but you have Wormmon, Togemogumon, the armor of Togemogumon being reinforced in Frozomon, and finally ending on a big icy beast in Ancient Mega Theriamon. It's definitely a way more out there line, but that's Digimon, welcome aboard. And I think it at least keeps some cohesion, or at least a theme that I can see working. But again, that ultimate could be Stafilmon or Korikakumon too. And Korikakumon obviously being a spirit related to Ancient Mega Theriamon might provide some cohesion too. Patamon becomes Stegomon, and this sucks. Stegomon as a friendship armor is fine. I always wished it was blue. It having spikes, I guess, is technically correct of the Digi-Egg, but coming from Patamon, I really don't get the logic. This could be like a courage armor or a sincerity armor, but no, it's a friendship armor. And the thing that really sucks as well, is I'm going to cut to the chase, we have a perfect mega for Stegomon in Spinomon. It's an even bigger dinosaur with giant blades coming off the back of it. Like, you couldn't ask for much better. We do also have a connection to Stegomon in Bio-Stegomon from Data Squad becoming Bio-Spinomon. Spinomon also being orange could create some connection to Patamon to make that Stegomon bridging gap feel a little bit less weird. Pre-evolutions though, I don't really know, man. I think I'm gonna settle on Triceramon just because it's a fairly common Spinomon prevo, though Master Tyrannomon is appealing too, it being a dinosaur and kind of having spikes on its back somewhat. Again, the connection there is pretty weak, it is just dinosaurs and spikes, but at least the line sort of works, you know. I think at least Patamon and Spinomon bookending the line gives us a little bit of room for that really random Stegomon in the middle. Then we got Thunderbirdmon, and its options are I think Impmon or Gotsumon and Gotsumon X. I'm gonna go with Impmon here solely because Digimon Liberator has presented us with the perfect opportunity. Because of course Impmon in Liberator has this new Guilmon-esque evolution line, and I think having Impmon go to Thunderbirdmon, skip the Punk Growlmon or whatever we call it, then into the Metal Growlmon, and finally the Metal Megidramon with the electric guitar wings. That's actually a pretty fun line. I like it a lot. Thunderbirdmon to me looks so much like the Impmon family, especially comparing its headpiece to Beelzemon. Putting it in the Impmon line and then adding these brand new Digimon, I was so excited when this came together. I actually started writing this video before that information on Liberator came out, and I was kind of putting the finishing touches together and then went, oh my god, new Digimon, we can actually use them. So this line I think works really well. Really need a name for these new Digimon though, Bandai, thanks. And that is it, or at least it would be, because on a technicality, Pile Volcamon is a friendship armor Digimon because of a joke about its creator, Volcano Ota, being able to armor Digivolve with his football armor. So technically, while it is like a regular evolution, it is also supposed to be, joke or not, a friendship armor Digivolution of Volcamon, meaning we need a rookie and a champion. And listen man, Gotsumon, Sonorizamon, Digivolve it into Golemon, then Volcamon and Pile Volcamon, jobs are good. So that truly is it. My picks for what all the friendship armor Digivolution's full Digivolution lines would be. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Of course, these are far from objective picks, just things I think would be fun. If you've got some cool thematic links you think would work, let me know. Don't be a dick about it. Thank you again to today's sponsor, Bombcat and Red Deer Games, and my sovereign level patron, ZDK14, over on patreon.com/Karn EX, as well as everyone else who supports me there on Patreon and over here on channel memberships. I appreciate you all so much, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.